Hello, students. This is your pair of linear equation in two variables. This is the part 7. So we are finally coming to an end of the chapter. We will take up some really important questions from your exercise 4.3. We have done until question number 12, I believe, in the last class. So I'm taking up 5 more questions from your exercise 4.3. The remaining, I believe you can do it by yourself, provided you have sufficient practice and you're able to understand the questions that I have solved so far. Okay, so I want to give you one more advice regarding this pair of linear equation in two variables. If you don't understand, I want you to rewatch it 2 or 3 times. Actually, 2 or 3 times per one question, and you try to practice it yourself also from the video. And after my lecture, you may try to practice the same question and then see if you are able to arrive at the same solution as I have done. And remember, practice is the key here. I want you to practice, practice, practice. So let's head on with the first question for today. This is question number 13. Let's see what the question is saying first. Okay. 90% and 95% pure mustard oils are mixed to obtain 20 liters of a 92% pure mustard oil. How many liters of each kind of mustard oil are needed? Okay, remember the 3 things that we needed? We wanted to identify the unknowns. The unknowns will be the X and the Y. And then I want you to identify the conditions given. From this condition given, you will make 2 equations. And then after you obtain the 2 equation, and I want you to solve and then obtain the unknowns, right? That's it. So determine the unknowns, conditions, and then solve. Okay, let's see what are the unknowns. 90% and 95% pure mustard oil. So from the start of the question, you must be having the thought that there are 2 kinds of mustard oils, right? There is a 90% pure one, and then there is the other one, 95% pure one. Okay, we take some quantity of this, some quantity of this, we mix them. We mix them to obtain how much? To obtain 20 liters. Okay, so take any combination of this and this. Let's say I take let's say I take 11 here, there will be 9 here in order to obtain a total of 20. We don't know, okay? We don't know how much of the 90% pure and 95% pure is we are taking in order to make this 20 liter. So we combine some quantity of 90% pure mustard oil and 95% pure mustard oil, and then we obtain how many? 20 liters. And look, what's the quality? What's the quality of the mustard oil that we are able to obtain after we mix them up? We are able to obtain a 92% pure. Question 1, how many liters of each kind? Each kind means this kind here, 90% pure kind and 95% pure kind. How much of each? How much quantity of each type of mustard oil that we take in order to obtain this much? The question is this. Okay, so once you know the gist of the question, let's come to identifying the unknowns. So identifying the unknowns, coming to this, the unknown is the quantity of this and this. How much quantity of this, how much quantity of this we have taken in order to obtain the 20 liters. Okay, so the 92% pure, let's say I take X liters. 95% pure, let's say I took Y liters. Okay, so we have identified the unknown. We have taken them as X and Y. So you have to start here. Let's start the solution. So let X liters is equal to quantity of 90% pure mustard oil. Okay, we are taking the Y liters as quantity of, let me take this away on the side. We will need this. So Y liters is the quantity of what? 95% pure mustard oil. Now that we have identified the unknowns, let's see the conditions given. They are mixed to obtain 20 liters, right? There is one condition. If you mix this X and Y, how much is the total? The total is 20 liters. So if I add X and Y, X number of liters and Y number of liters, the total that I get is 20 liters. Okay, so first condition, we will say here by equation. First condition is if I add X and Y, this is 20. So I'm putting this as equation 1. Simple, right? Come to the second condition. We need two equations in order to solve the value of x and y. So come to the second condition. We are mixing 90% and 95%. 90% of what? Of x liters. We add them together with how much? 95% of y liters. What do we obtain? We obtain 92%. 92% of how many liters is pure? 20 liters. We are talking about the purity here, okay? Out of the x liters that we have taken, 90% is pure. Out of the y liters that we have taken, 95% is pure. In total, x and y, if we sum them up, how much did we obtain? We are able to obtain 20 liters, right? So of the 20 liters, the total purity percentage is 92. So from this condition right here, we will make another equation also. So 90% of this first kind, 95% of the second kind is equal to 92% of total. Total is how much? Total is, we have obtained only 20 liters, right? So 92% of, we will write 20. This is another equation. We will make 90% of x as 90x by 100. This one is 95y by 100. And the percentage here would be expressed as 92 by 100 also, right? Okay, let's see. We are able to obtain 90x by 100, 95y by 100, 92 by 100 into 20. Okay, so I can cancel them up, all of them, because the denominator is the same. I can remove the 100, 100, hundreds, right? So I'm canceling out the hundreds in all of them, in all of the term. Okay, let's keep the remaining. What is remaining here? We will have 90x, 95y. 92 into 20 will be how much? 2 9s are 18, 2 2s are 4. 1840. This is equation number 2. Okay, so we are able to obtain, we have determined the unknowns. We are able to obtain the equations, right? We are able to obtain the equations from the conditions given. Now it's time for us to solve. Okay, you copy up to here in your notes. After that, I'm rubbing off all of this, all of this, all of this. I'm just keeping the equation for references sake. Okay, so I'm rubbing this off, all of this. Let it be. Just keeping the two equations. So let's keep one above here, the other one, let it be. Okay, let's use elimination method once again. Okay, elimination method is easier. It will be shorter for you to solve also. So the best way to do elimination here is just eliminate x or y, your choice. I want to eliminate x. Okay, so here the coefficient of x is 90. No coefficient of x here, it's just 1. So in order to obtain 90 here, we will multiply the equation 1 with 90. So 90 here, 90 here, 90 here. Let's see what we are able to obtain. We are just multiplying equation 1 by 90. So multiplying equation 1 by 90. And equation 1 and 2 are subtract. Okay, so 2, we are not changing it. We are just keeping. What are we obtain? What do we have here? Let's see. 90x, 91. Remember, we are multiplying this whole equation by 90 on each of the term. 90 and x is 90x, 90 and y is 90y. 90 and 20, so 9 2s is 18, so we are able to obtain 1800. Just keep the equation 1, just keep the equation 2. Equation 2 look like this, right? So we're subtracting them. Minus sign here. The plus here and the plus here will be changed into minus sign. So I'm keeping the change sign as minus. Okay, subtract now 90y minus 95y. Where did the minus came from? From the change sign. 90y minus 95y. How much is it? Minus 5. So the 90x and 90x, they got cancelled. 90y and 95y, if I subtract them, I'm able to get minus 5y. What about the remaining? We're subtracting 1800 and 1840 because of the minus sign. So 1800, 1840. There is a minus sign here. You subtract them, we get D. So minus 40. Cancel the minus and minus sign. Okay, just y is equal to minus 40 divided by minus 5. We're cancelling the minus sign. 5 and 40. If I cancel them out, I'm going to get 8. 5 8s are 40, right? So we have obtained y as 8. So you just need to put the value of y as 8 in the equation 1. Equation 2 is there's a larger value here. It will be much easier if you put the value of y in equation 1. So let's continue on the right hand side. So we are putting the value of y in which equation? In equation 1. What's the value now? X plus. Instead of y, we are putting it, the other one, the value on the right hand side is 20. So the value of x will be 20 minus a, which will be 12. Okay, x we have obtained it as 12, y we have obtained it as 8. Therefore, x equal to 12, y equal to 8. Now we have determined the unknown. See what the question wanted. Question wanted here, how many liters of each kind of mustard oil are needed? For the 90% kind, we have taken it as x liters, right? So for the 90% kind, we need how many liters? We need 12 liters. For the 95% kind, we need how many liters? We need 8 liters. So I just mentioned here in words, therefore, we need 12 liters of 90% pure mustard oil and 8 liter of 95% pure mustard oil. Okay, right. You can end here. This is your solution of question number 30. It's really simple, right? You just need to determine the unknown. Framing the equation, you might get a little bit confused there. Just rewatch it 1 or 2 times. You'll be able to understand very easily. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I'm skipping question number 14. 14, slightly complex, not much needed in terms of your board examination. Okay, we will be wasting unnecessary time there. So I'm taking a 15. Before we do question number 15, I need you to remind on the properties of a rectangle. So rectangle is this one. This is the rectangle, right? Right angles on every corner. So this one and this one, these two sides are equal in length. This one and this one, they are equal in length. The longer sides, we call them length, right? So it will be represented as L, let's say, and the shorter side, we will call it as breadth. So that will be B. What about the area? The area will be length into breadth. You remember this, right, from the lower classes? Simple ones. Okay, you know that the area of a rectangle is length into breadth. The entire question will be based on the concept of area of a rectangle. Okay. So let's see the question. What is it giving? What's the condition given here? What the question wanted us to do? Let's see. In a rectangle, if the length is reduced by 5 centimeter and the breadth is increased by 2 centimeter, the area is reduced by 40 square centimeter. Remember, in the beginning of understanding the question, you don't need to understand what part is this, what part is this. Just need to understand what are the unknowns that you should take x and y as. Okay. If, however, the length is increased by 2 centimeter and the breadth by 4 centimeter, area is increased by 92 square centimeter. Question 1 is to find the length and the breadth of the rectangle. So we are given a rectangle, length, breadth. The question gives 2 conditions of different variations of length and breadth. Okay. The question 1 is to find out the length and breadth. Okay, we have determined the unknown. Very simple, right? So the length, we will take it as x. Okay, let it be L and B. Okay, you don't need x and y all the time. You can replace the variables with A and B, P and Q, L and B, whatever your choice is. But for now, the length, we are taking it as L. The breadth, we are taking it as B. So these are the unknowns. Okay, now let's start solving already. I'm not using x here. L is equal to length of the rectangle. And B, I'm giving this as the breadth of the rectangle. Okay, look, let's see the conditions given. We wanted 2 equations in order to solve the unknown, right? So the variables are here, L and B. Question 1, the condition as set by the question is this. In a rectangle, okay, this rectangle, the length is reduced by 5 centimeter. The length L, it's reduced. Reduced means we have to subtract a certain value, right? How much? 5 centimeter. So from the length, if I reduce it by 5 centimeter, and the breadth is increased by 2 centimeter. So the breadth is increased. That means we have to add a certain value. How much? 2 centimeter. I'm just writing 2 here. Then what happened? The area is reduced by 40 square centimeter. Okay, before we come to this part, you need to understand how much is the current area. Before we do any reduction or increment, you need to understand how much is the original area. The original length is L, original breadth is B. So how much is the area here? Length into breadth. So just write LB. Okay. So this is the original area. Now we do a little bit of modification on the length and breadth. The length is reduced by 5, breadth is increased by 2. In this case, what happened is, if I find out the area, how do I find out the area? I have to multiply these two, right? So if I find out the area, if I multiply the length and breadth, I multiply the length and breadth, then what happened is, from the original area, the area is reduced by how much? 40 square centimeter. Area is what? Reduced. So the original area is how much? LB. It is reduced. That means we will subtract a certain value. Get it? Why are we not putting L here? Because the length is reduced. That's why I'm putting L minus 5 instead. Why am I not putting B only here? Because the breadth is increased by 2. And how do you find the area? You multiply the new length, new breadth. If I multiply them, we get the new area. How is the new area compared to the previous one? The new area is 40 square centimeter less. That's why I'm putting a minus sign. So that's the first condition as given by the question. Okay. So I'm just writing here by question. Also, we need two more condition. Okay, let's solve this equation first. We want this into a proper equation. We want it in the form of ax plus by is equal to c, remember? So we are doing a little bit of a multiplication with distributive property. I'm just doing it a little bit faster. Okay, L into B plus twice L minus 5B minus 10, LB minus 40. LB and LB is same on the both sides. Both of them are plus. So I'm keeping the 2L and 5B on the left hand side. And I'm taking away the minus 10 on the right hand side. So minus 40 plus 10, we get twice L minus 5B is equal to minus 30. This is your first equation. Okay. Now let's see one more modification here. The second equation, how to make it, there is another condition. If, however, so the remaining portion, right? If, however, the length is increased by 2 centimeters. So we're changing this. We're not, the original length is L, original breadth is B. We're changing it slightly. How? Length is increased by 2 centimeters. So length is increased now. Okay, increased by 2 centimeters. What about the breadth? Breadth by 4 centimeters. Breadth is also increased. How much? 4. The area is increased by how much? 92 square centimeters. How do we calculate the area here? You multiply these two, right? Again. So the new area will be L plus 2, B plus 4. What will happen to the area? The original area is LB, right? Area is increased by 92. So just add 92 here. Okay. So let me put up a better way. So this is the new condition. This is the second condition according to, I'm continuing from here to here, okay, for your notes. So this is your second condition, the second equation we are able to obtain. Let's make it proper also. We will multiply, do distributive property. We will have LB plus 4L plus 2B plus 8 is equal to LB plus 92. You know how we are able to obtain these terms, right? L into B, L into 4. So that's how I have obtained these two. 2NB, 2B, 2 and 4, 8. So we are able to obtain this part here. The right hand side, it remains unchanged. So LB and LB can be cancelled out, right? Same thing, same term. So keep the remaining. We are having 4L plus 2B. This 8 right here, let's take it away to the right hand side. We're going to have 92 minus A, 4L plus 2B is equal to 84. Look, all of them are divisible by 2 also. We want to reduce the equation as much as possible. We want to make it look as lean as possible. Okay, so divide all the terms by 2. We will have 2L here, B here, 42 here, right? So you divide all the terms by 2. So we get twice L, B, 42. We have divided everything, every term by 2. So that's your second equation. What are the equations we have obtained so far? One here, another here. Okay, let's solve them. We have obtained the equations. We know the unknowns. We obtained the equation. Now is the time for solving. Okay, you keep this here in your notes. Make proper notes. So I'm erasing everything else. I'm just keeping the equation again for the purpose of reference. Okay, let's keep it here at the top, this portion here, in here. Okay, good. Okay, now how to eliminate one of the terms? It's easy here. 2L and 2L, the coefficients are already equal for L. So I can just subtract them, isn't it? So just say here subtracting, or you can just write equation 1 minus equation 2. No need to write in words notes. So if I subtract them, I have to put a minus sign in the front, right? So the plus sign here, it will be changed into minus. Plus sign here, it will be changed into minus. So I'm keeping them in red. So subtract 2L and 2L, they can be cancelled out, cancel them out. What are the remaining here? This and this, this and this. So the thing is minus 5b here. In the top, there is minus 5b. Bottom, minus b. So the total is minus 6b. So we get minus 6b here. What about this part? Minus 30 minus 42. Remember, we are not supposed to take the original sign. We are taking the new sign. Minus 30 minus 42, same sign. So we have to add them. 30 and 42 is 72. Take the sign of the bigger number, minus. So we get minus 72 here. What's the value of b? B will be minus 72 divided by 6. Minus 6. Cancel the minus sign. 6 and 72, we get 12. Okay, let's put the value of b in equation number. Let's take the positive one, this one, second equation. Okay, let's do it in blue. Putting the value of b in equation number 2. What's the result now? Let's see. 2L plus b is 12 is equal to 42. Twice L is equal to 42 minus 12, which is equal to 30. Find out the L, it will be 30 divided by 2, which will be 15. That's it. So we have obtained L as 15, breadth as 12. This length and breadth satisfy the two conditions as given by equation number 15. So we have found out the length and breadth just mentioned here. Therefore, length of the rectangle, how much is it? 15. We are putting them as centimeter because every unit mentioned in there is centimeter, right? And what about the breadth? This is 12 centimeter. Okay, we are done. So the only hint that you need to understand, the only formula or the previous knowledge that you need to have is the length into breadth is the area of the rectangle. That's it. Very easy one. Okay, let's move on. Let's take up question number 20. Question number 20 from exercise 4.3. So this is a tricky question, little tricky in terms of the concepts, but the solving part, it will be easy, simple. Before we do this, imagine a situation here in your class 10 batch itself. Let's say there are 34 of you. There is 34 students, but we have only 8 benches. Okay, so the sitting arrangement, let's make it 9. Let's make it 9 benches. Okay, this is for just imagination sake. Let's do a little bit of a sitting arrangement. It's let's say it's summer, it's hot. So sitting 4 people in a bench, 4 students, 4 of you in a bench, it's going to be quite hot because you will be bunched up together in a very crowded place. So 4 students in a bench. If you have 4 students in a bench, how will it look like? 4 nines are. This is 36 of you. We don't need 36, right? We don't need 36. Okay, one more modification here. Just wanted to fit in with the question. Let's say there are just 32. If 4 of you are sitting in a bench, on all the benches, if 4 of you are there, so we needed just how many benches? So we will need only 32 of you to sit on the benches. So 4 8s are 32. If 4 of you are there in each of the benches, what's happening? We are not fully utilizing the number of benches available. Number of benches available is 9, but we have utilized only 8. So there is a difference of 1, right? So in terms of 32 and 9, how to make this properly? Let's say we are making you sit 4 of you in one bench. We don't utilize the total 9. So there is out of the total 9, we haven't utilized how much? 1. And we are able to fit in all of you. This is all of you here. This is the number of benches utilized. Okay, this is one situation. What if there is because it's summer, because the sitting four students, four of you in single bench will be quite hot. So next rearrangement, let's say we make you sit only three of you on one bench. So three of you, 3 into 9, we will have only 27 persons. Only 27 of you will be seated, right? But there are 32 of you, get it? So 3 9s are 27. This is not a proper, the students, all of you, you are not sitting down. Some of you must be standing. How many of you are seated? There are 27 of you seated, right? How much is left? 5 of you. So in order to obtain 32 here, what we have to do is, this is the number of seated students. How many are standing? 5 of you are standing, right? So I have to add 5 here. In order to obtain, instead of 27, if I want to obtain 32, I have to add the standing students. Okay, so that's how we are going to make an equation according to, for this question number 20. Let's see, let's read it properly first. In a classroom, there are a number of benches. Okay, we don't know how many, there are a number of benches in the classroom. If 4 students sit on each bench, 5 benches are left vacant. So out of the total number of benches, 5 of them are vacant if 4 students are sitting on each bench. Second condition, if 3 students sit on each bench, 4 students are left standing. Okay, just as the example that I have just mentioned, if 3 of you are standing, are sitting on each bench, how many are standing? 4 are standing. Question 1 is to find number of benches and number of students. So that's it, that's the unknown. So you start the solution. Let x is equal to number of, let's say it's the number of benches, okay? And y is equal to what? Number of students. Okay, let's see if we are able to make the given conditions into equations. Look, 4 students are sitting on each bench. How many benches? Number of benches are y. Number of benches are x. But for the first condition, all the benches are not utilized. How many are left? 5 are left. So out of the number of benches x, we are able to utilize only how much? X minus 5. 5 of them are left out, right? That's why I'm subtracting the 5. So 4 of you are sitting on each of them. So I'm multiplying here with 4. So 4 of you are seated on each bench. How many benches are there? There are x of them, but 5 of them are not occupied. So I'm subtracting 5 from the number of benches. That's how you are able to obtain the number of students, right? Is equal to number of students. No one is left standing, everyone is sitting, but 5 of them are left vacant. So this is equal to number of students. What's the number of students indicated by y? So the right hand side will be replaced with y. Okay, so let me keep this here. This is equation number 1. Just mention here by question. Okay. Second condition, let's try to obtain it also. If 3 students sit on each bench, 4 students are left standing. So the number of benches is x. None of the benches are left now, right? So how many students are sitting on it? 3 each. The total number of sitting students will be 1 bench sit 3 of them. How many benches are there? X. So total number of sitting students will be, just apply unitary method, 3 into x, right? So the number of benches is x, 3 of them are seated, so total number of seated students is 3x. But I want to obtain the total number of students. Is this equal with this? Number of students multiply number of benches multiplying with 3. Is it equal to the total number of students? No, because 3x here, it represents only the number of students seated. So what to do? You have to add the standing students. Standing students is how many students are standing? 4 are left standing. So plus 4, that way we will be able to get the total number of students, right? Okay, so this is the second equation. So this one, it will be easier for us to do substitution method because y is already found out here. Instead of this y in equation 2, I can easily replace with 4x minus 5, right? So let's use substitution method instead of elimination. Substituting the value of y from equation 1 in equation 2. So we are substituting the value of y here in equation 2, this part we will left it untouched, but the y will be replaced with this part. Okay, let's see what we are able to obtain. Equation 2 is 3x plus 4 is equal to, instead of y, we will write 4x minus 4. Continue further. So let's solve the value of x. 3x plus 4 is equal to 4x minus 20. 3x minus 4x is equal to minus 20 minus 4. This is just transposition. I don't think I need to explain this, right? So this is minus x. These two are the same sign, so we have to add them. You can cancel the minus and minus sign from both sides. So the final value we are able to obtain is x is 24. Okay, come to the value of y. You can put it in here or here, equation 1 and 2, your choice. Putting in, let's put in 1, okay? So if I put it in 1, what is the value of y now? 4 whole bracket x minus 5. The x here will be replaced with 24. So just keep 24 in there. We will put 24 minus 5. So we get 4 into 19, which is 76. Okay, question 1 is to find out the number of benches and students. Number of benches, I have taken it as x. So just say here, number of benches. This is 24. What about the number of students? It's y. So it will be 76. That's it. Finished. Simple and easy. The only thing that you have to be careful here is how to make the equation. Okay, the making the equation part is slightly tricky. Why do we have 4 here is because 4 students are sitting on each bench. How many number of benches? There is a total of x, but we don't utilize all of them. There is 5 remaining. That's why we subtract 5. If all the students are seated, this represents the total number of students. So this is equal to total number of students, which is y. Again, the second one, the number of students seated is 3x. In order to obtain the total number of students, I have to add the standing students also. That's how we are able to obtain the total number of students. So we just solve this question 1. All right. Okay, let's take up the last equation for today's class. This will be your last equation, the last question for this chapter, pair of linear equation in 2 variables. So 22, this question is based on the ratio. If you remember, if I divide a by b is equal to, let's say I have 1 by 2 here. I will write it as a ratio b is equal to 1 ratio 2. If I have another value as a by b is equal to 2 by 3, we will write a ratio b is equal to 2 ratio 3. Okay. I think you have already understood that part in class site already. So let's see what the question is saying. The ratio of incomes of 2 persons is 9 ratio 7. So there are 2 persons. So if we take the income ratio, how much is it? 9 ratio 7. Ratio of their expenditure is 4:3. If each of them saves rupees 2,000 per month, find their monthly incomes. Okay. So there are 2 of them, right? The 2 persons. For the 2 persons, what we don't know is we don't know their monthly income. So let's say the 2 persons, one is this, one is this. The first person, let's say he earns X rupees. And the second one, let's say he earns Y rupees. Okay. So first and foremost, remember what we wanted was we wanted to determine the unknowns. We know the unknowns now. So let's just say here that X and Y are the incomes of the 2 persons. What now? Now, time for us to find out the relevant equations. Ratio of the incomes of 2 persons is how much? 9 ratio 7. Ratio means if I take X ratio Y, we will be able to obtain 9 ratio 7. You can convert this in division form. X by Y is equal to 9 by 7, right? We can do cross multiplication, X and 7, Y and 9. So we will have 7X is equal to 9Y. Then bring the 9y to the left hand side. We will have 7x minus 9y is equal to 0. So that will be your first condition. Okay, let's keep it. So by equation, x ratio 1 and x by y is equal to 9 by 7. 7x is equal to 9y. 7x minus 9y is equal to 0, which is equation 1. What about the other equation? Okay, let's see. Let's read the remaining portion. Ratio of their expenditure is 4:3. Each of them saves how much? Rupees 2000 per month. Find their monthly incomes. So it looks like this. If I earn 100 rupees, I have some expenses. I bought some things for house and stuff. There must be some remaining. That remaining is the savings. So if I add the expenditure and the saving, what will I get? I will get the income, right? How much that I'm able to earn. So income is equal to expense plus savings. If I wanted to find out the expense here, savings will go to the left hand side, right? So expense will be income minus saving. You just need to understand this. Expense is income minus saving. How much I earn, how much I save. If you subtract them, you will find how much that you have already spent. Okay, that's what expense is. If each of them saves rupees 2000 per month, both save rupees 2000 per month. How much does the first person earn? X rupees. Second person, Y rupees. How much does both of them save? 2000 here, 2000 here. If I subtract the incomes and the savings, what do I get? I get expense for X, expense for Y, right? Expenditure for X is X minus 200 for the first person. For the second person, it will be Y minus 2000. X minus 2000 and Y minus 2000. Question says ratio of their expenditure is 4:3. That means if I divide these expenditures, I will get 4:3. First of all, we need to find out the expenditure. For the first person, expense. His expense is how much? His income minus saving. For the second person, expenditure is how much? Y minus 2000. So according to the question, if I divide them or if I take ratio is the same as dividing them, right? If I divide them, how much I am supposed to get? I'm supposed to get 4/3. So say here also, if I divide the expenditures, we will be able to get 4/3. Okay, let's put finishing touches on the proper equation that we want to obtain from this. Let's continue on the right hand side. That's just a simple small equation. Cross multiplication, right? 3 will multiply with this part, 4 will multiply with this part. So what do we get? 3 multiply with x will be 3x. 3 multiply with 2000 will be 6000. 4 multiply with y, 4y. 4 multiply with 2000, 8000. I'm bringing the variables on the left hand side and the constant values on the right hand side. Just do a minor changing of signs, right? So 3x minus 4y, this is equal to, if I subtract these two, what am I supposed to get? I'm supposed to get minus 2000, right? 8000 is larger. So that's it. That's equation number 2. We've got equation number 1 here, equation number 2 here. We will try to solve equation 1 and 2, and then we will be able to obtain the value of x and y. Simple. Okay, let's do it. Let me rub off all remaining parts except for the 2 equations. Keeping the first one right here, second one right here. Okay, you can use any method you want. Okay, but for this case, I'm using substitution method because substitution method will be easier. The elimination method will make the values really big. Okay, I don't want that. So from equation 1, I'm just changing it like this. 7x is equal to 9y. Let's find out the value of x. X will be 9/7y. So you put the value of x, putting the value of x in equation 2. So equation number 2, this x will be replaced with 9/7y. So what will it look like? Look, 3 into 9/7y minus 4y is equal to minus 2000. Numerator multiplication, 27/7y minus 4y is equal to minus 2000. There is one denominator here, so do a little bit of multiplication and cross multiplication. 7 ones are 7. If you do cross multiplication, 27y and y will be 27y minus 4y and 7 will be 28y is equal to minus 2000. Minus y by 7 is equal to minus 2000. Take the 7 to the right hand side. We will have minus y is equal to minus 2000 into 7 will be 14,000, isn't it? I'm skipping small steps. You cancel the signs. Finally, we are able to obtain y as 14,000. That's the income of the second person, isn't it? I want to obtain the value of x using this one. So you put the value of y here. So I'm rubbing this off, all of it. Just I'm putting the value of y separately on the side. Okay. Now the value of x is equal to 9 by 7. Put the value. 7 and 14,000 got cancelled. We get 2,000. 9 and 2,000 got multiplied. We get 18,000. So we are able to obtain the value of x. We are able to obtain the value of y separately. So x is the income of the first person. Second person is the value y. So mention here, therefore, income of first person, how much is it? Rupees 18,000. Income of second person, rupees 14,000. Okay. This one is simple. This one is easier than the rest of them because it's given in terms of ratio. The only concept that you need to bring here is, if I want to find out the expenditure, I have to subtract income and how much the persons are saving, the savings. So income, the given is x, and y separately, savings are 2,000 each. So that's the only concept that you need to bring here from outside. The rest, it's already given in the question. You just need to solve the equations that we have obtained from the given conditions. Okay, with this, we are finishing today's class as well as this chapter of pair of linear equation and two variables. And I cannot stress this enough. I want you to practice so much until you are able to understand how to solve pair of linear equation using elimination and substitution method. Mostly, you practice the graphical part. You can expect a 3-mark question from there. Learn how to draw graph, buy a graph book, learn how to draw graph properly, see if you are able to obtain the solutions in the exercises, the questions in the exercises. And then the word problem, you can expect a 4-mark question here also. So practice all the questions, even the questions that I have left out. You try to practice it on your own and then see if you're able to obtain the answers in the exercise. Okay. So let's finish here for today. I'll see you all on another chapter. Goodbye.